They called themselves the Veil Quor, the Timeless, the Elders of the Void, beings older than suns and silent destroyers of civilizations. Where they passed, galaxies grew still. No species resisted them. None dared. Until humanity. The Council of Memory, a gathering of Veil Quor minds, spread across 7 dimensions, convened for the first time in eons. A low tremor passed through the psychic ether as they spoke, not in words, but in celestial concepts: concern, disbelief, and something they had never known before: fear. From the swirling shadows of the Mind Spire, XL Thazuan, an entity whose thoughts once crushed star empires, projected an image: a war-torn sector in the Milky Way, still burning with the afterglow of battle. 1,000,000 Veil Quor warforms had descended upon the Terran colonies. They expected submission, or perhaps futile resistance. They received annihilation. "Explain," murmured one of the elders, its essence flickering with dread. XL Thazuan hesitated. They called themselves humans. A ripple of unease passed through the council. Even the name felt sharp, abrasive, unnatural. "They were primitives once," continued the elder, "limited in time, bound to a single blue world. What changed?" XL Thazuan showed them footage: a Terran warship, designation Ares 9, smaller than a Veil Quor dreadform, yet swifter than light itself, darting through the battlefield, dismembering colossal warforms with tungsten rods and fusion blades. No fear, no hesitation, just calculated fury. "Their minds," XL Thazuan said slowly, "are like wildfire trapped in steel. They do not fold. They learn. Every engagement we launched was turned against us. They adapted." Another elder whispered, "They anticipated." Silence. Eternal beings who had witnessed the death of neutron stars now sat stricken. The worst came next. XL Thazuan projected the moment their capital shard world had been struck not by planetary bombardment, but by a message. A simple human transmission, etched into the digital remains of their warships. "You started this. We'll finish it." They hadn't just survived, they'd hunted the hunters. The Veil Quor were masters of psychological dominance. Fear was their currency. Yet humanity's soldiers laughed in battle, even when wounded. Their ships bore names like Wrath of Mars, Last Laugh, and Coffin Nail. It wasn't arrogance, it was something deeper. A refusal to bow. Where did they come from? A younger echo of the council asked. XL Thazuan responded, "A planet of death. They call it Earth. Gravity enough to crush lesser life forms. Weather that changes moods like predators. Creatures that hunt in packs, with teeth and poison." And still, the humans thrived. They rose from such chaos. No, they embraced it. The Veil Quor had faced many races, insectoid swarms, psychic collectives, living storms of quantum filth. But none like humans. No hive mind, no unity. Just billions of chaotic individuals, all willing to burn the stars themselves if pushed far enough. The war hadn't ended with a treaty. It ended when humanity reverse-engineered Veil Quor singularity drives and went looking for them. The Council tried to flee to the Edge Realms, where time bent and reality frayed, but the humans followed. "We should erase their memory from the stars," one elder said, its tone brittle. Another replied, "We tried. And now the stars carry their names." It was true. Human colonies now thrived in systems once held by the Veil Quor. And each bore a name that mocked the ancient ones: Vengeance Prime, Never Again, Ashes of Veil. Even worse, the humans didn't celebrate these as victories. To them, it wasn't triumph. It was duty. The final wound came in the form of a small Terran ship that landed uninvited on one of the Veil Quar's remaining sanctuary moons. No weapons, no fleet, just one human, Ambassador Diana Reyes. Her message was short. We didn't want this war. You forced our hand, but we will not hunt you anymore. We are for peace. Decline, and we finish what you started. Zel'Thazuan still remembered the moment she turned her back and walked away, unafraid. It was that gesture, more than anything, that shattered them. It wasn't defiance. It was pity. That day, the Council voted unanimously an act that hadn't occurred in 2 billion years to seal all portals to Terran space. They would vanish from the known universe, hide, watch, and pray the humans never came looking again. Now, across ancient ruins and hidden sanctuaries, the name humanity is spoken only in silence. Not because the Veil Corps forgot, but because they remember too well.